This Investment Insights report is brought to you by BOE Private Clients. Now with day-to-day banking for the fortunate few, BOE Private Clients, money never sleeps. Neither does David Shapiro in these kind of markets, Dave. Down 4% today, the JSE All-Share Index, and terrible day for resources.
We're just catching up with the rest of the market. We had a day off yesterday. I think the big theme now is what's the next move in markets.
Sorry, you're down 3%. I
down 3%,
don't want to give people too much panic, but still, they're not good.
No. So resources were down about 5% with some big losses, Anglo's, Billiton.
But it just slid the whole day. It started off, the market started around 22,500 and then ended the day at below 22,000.
Commodity prices coming off. I think that there's no excitement to bring buyers in. I think the worst is over story has run its course. And now we've got to look for real evidence that there is a turnaround.
Should you be short in this environment?
I don't think I'd be short because I'd be very nervous. I don't think people want to sell too much. I think you're probably short for a few percentage more, but I wouldn't go too short from these levels. I don't think we're going to get back to March levels where the market falls to 18,000.
Short is when you take a bet that prices are going to get lower still.
Fall, yeah. I don't think the news is that bad. I think that even today we know that unemployment's going to be up in the United States. We know that banks are still under a bit of pressure there, but and we know we had shocking retail numbers out today, and that came on top of manufacturing numbers and mining. So most of the bad news is out the way. We're just waiting for news now to to show that the economies are
the
really
volatility index, the fear index, is going up again. So
it is
just below 30%. It came down quite nicely, and at the same time that it was falling, we said we saw share prices rise. Is this one of those indicators you should be cautious of?
I would probably go along with the volatility indicator. In other words, believing that there's going to be more volatility in the market. But I don't think we're going to see the kind of slumps that we've seen before.
David, you mentioned retail sales. There's a few entrepreneurs, Trevor Edwards, Stan Whitfield, and Eric Parker are getting together. They're putting their money where their mouth is. They've bought 10% of a company called Just On Cosmetics, which is going to list on the Altex later this month. So it just shows there are some brave people around.
But they were behind Elaneni, which is now Cipla. And I mean, they did very well on that. They were one of the first listings on Altex, did pretty well. But just, Alec, you can make money in this market. In fact, the one question I wanted to ask Richard Branson is, or I'd love to ask him, what do you do? What do entrepreneurs do in this kind of market? How do we get it turning around? How do we get things turning around? So I think that's it. I find that there are opportunities now, to buy very cheap businesses, and there's still demand out there.
So you're not selling your shares, you're sticking with it?
No, it depends on the areas. I think still durable goods, in other words, the heavy ticket items, it's still early to go into that. It's very difficult to get credit. Look, retail sales were down even though interest rates came down. But I think at the bottom end of the market, the apparel, the food, there's still opportunities.